as I really found myself navigating the journey of healing from emotional eating, I really remember different points in time where the act of eating itself was an anchor for me. It gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me a place to put my anxious energy, which I feel like when push comes to shove, this is what we're doing when we're emotionally eating. We have this, as humans, we have this energy that builds up inside of us, and we can call it feelings, we can call it emotions, we can call it anything, but it's kinetic energy. It feels like it's alive energy, and when we don't feel a sense of self, when we don't feel that, we we still need a place to feel almost like we're grounded, we're anchored, we're living. And oftentimes food and the act of eating can provide that. And it stayed this way for me for so many years. Like I said, the better part of, a decade basically, until obviously, where, obviously now I'm speaking to you from this place where I support people in overcoming this. But for so many years, I used food as that place to park a lot of my anxious energy, to get it out, to feel like I was doing something, I was productive, I had a purpose. And it went on like this until I started to build up my sense of self and my authentic identity. And this is so key. And when we talk about connecting to your purpose to transform the way you eat, this is what I mean. It's connecting to your sense of self, it's connecting to your authentic identity. And the thing is to uncover and discover your authentic identity, it comes through action. And it comes through connecting to your values. And oftentimes you don't know what your values are until you have them disrespected. So such a big part of this is going out in the world and living in the world. I know for myself, as a food addict for so many years, we kind of live on the sidelines. I kind of lived on the sidelines. There were feelings I had inside of yearning, of wanting to do stuff, but I wouldn't do it. And I would be, in my apartment or in my house, eating my food, putting all my energy in the eating experience, and imagining myself going out and doing stuff once I could get over this situation with food. And the thing is that it really doesn't happen that way. You have to put yourself into the world, and there's this place in the journey where there's this overlap time where, in order to get to the place where you can uncover and become your authentic self, which can be that anchoring presence that you need to plug into to overcome and transform the way that you eat, there's this overlap point where you're not quite that person yet, but you still have to muster up the energy and the courage and the enthusiasm to go out into the world and try different things so you can get feedback, so you can figure out who you are and what you love and what you like to do, and continue to invest and pour more of your energy and more of your time and more of your resources into doing those things. And that's essentially what I did. And there was a time where both things were happening at once. I was committed to going to daily yoga classes. I went on solo vacations. I put tons of effort into actually going to places and meeting new people that were in line with things that interested me. Right? Like I started joining hiking groups in New York City, and on the weekends I would go hiking with strangers. And the truth is, I met really good people there. I met some of my great friends in those years of my life, and they connected me to other things. And it really helped me build my authentic identity. And through every experience that I put myself out there, I got more feedback into what mattered to me, what were my values, what were my needs, because I was I was out in the world and I was doing stuff. And there were a couple years in that time where I was still, struggling with my relationship with food. So it didn't just happen overnight where I started to do this stuff and it compensated for or replaced my um my behaviors with my food addiction. It didn't. I'm not going to lie about that, right? It doesn't just happen like that. There are years and there are times, for me it took years, for my clients it takes months, at this point. But there is an overlap where you are going to be both until you become your authentic self. And this is when this great thing starts to happen, because consistency and just courage and continuing to go out there with this this idea of becoming wise about yourself, right? It's not just going out there and crossing your fingers and hoping that you become your authentic self and it all just happens for you. You have to go out into these experiences looking for feedback to understand yourself better. And that is a key point that you can't overlook, right? Just going out there and just putting yourself out there without that light switch turned on of reflection and filtering and that curiosity, where you're basically like, okay, I'm gonna try to gather information about what are my values, what are my needs, um you know what do I want to do more of. And these small actions were so major for me, because these small actions became bigger investments in myself and helped me create a life of meaning. And and my life unfolded, right? This action led to this relationship, which led to this connection, which led to this investment of energy, which led to this um feeling of purpose, right? And then I committed more, and it just kind of snowballed on itself. But it all starts with you just putting yourself out there,